Howdy, everybody. Welcome to the show. This is Left Turn Mania.
Muted, man.
What's that?
Yeah.
It's a good start to the show.
Am I still?
Add yourself to the meeting. You forgot to unmute yourself.
I hit a button as I was doing something.
I know. I added you back to the meeting. Hi.
We'll fix it in post.
Yeah, whatever.
How's it going?
Hey, it's the show. Welcome aboard. Now shut up. No, it's sit down and hang on. Sit down, loser. We're going winning at Richmond. Or where are we at? I don't even know. Richmond. We're going to Martinsville next week. That's right. Hey, it's Left Turn Mania. I'm your host, Scott Steen, lead handicapper at winnersandwhiners.com. Sir, identify yourself to the far left.
I'm Scott Reichel, who was the temporary host for about 2 seconds. I'm the co-host at Winners and Whiners, and I am the senior handicapper at Winners and Whiners.
Just a soupçon of power there. Just a little taste of power. How did it feel to be driving the show, buddy? Did you panic?
Felt great. Felt great.
You think I did?
The power was coursing through my veins.
Did you just think I said, fuck it, I'm never going to win another NASCAR bet again and left right before the show? That would have been funny, though.
I wasn't even sure because you were originally not even there. I clicked it, and then you were talking. It was like a mime. Like you were trying to charade it.
Out of the box.
Yeah.
See, that's the nice part about working for a company like Winners and Whiners, because if we were just on our own doing this, I'd have just fucking walked out. I went, yeah, it's Friday, I got to go. Hey, who are you in the middle? It's the Paul Lind of NASCAR commentators. Who are you?
I'm the host of this show, Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Stop saying that.
All right, at the mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart.
Like 6 people that know who that is. Stop it.
That's 6 more people that know who you are, you ham and egger.
Ham and egger. My God. What are you, like 75? I'm surprised you didn't call me a palooka or a tomato can.
Apparently, you don't remember Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Of course I do. I'm just saying.
People ham and eggers.
Not everybody is as old as we are, Chris. That's what I'm saying to you. It's Chris King.
That's the great part about streaming stuff. You can still see it.
It's Chris King, everybody. He's host of Just Parlays along with his pal Jim Williams.
There you go. Michael says he's one of them. So there you go. Here's one of the 6 people who remembers ham and eggers and pencil neck geeks.
Okay, all right, fine.
I'm the biggest fan of your history lessons on wrestling yesterday.
I got to look at JC Stone. I got to give props to Scott Jr. on his Chastain cash. Should have tailed you. The end of that race really showed Chastain's driving ability and his ball to take the other 2 drivers out. Who are the other 2 drivers? Anybody remember?
Your 2 guys.
Oh, fuck, that's right. Both of my picks. Congratulations. You fucking ham and egger. There. Is that how?
Oh, yeah. See, he mocks it, and then he turns around and uses it.
That's right.
Sounds like a typical comedian.
I'll steal shit.
Sucks. I'm going to use it in my next race.
We call that a heel turn.
I'm the Carlos Mencia of show host. I will steal anything. Absolutely correct.
George Lopez?
No, Carlos Mencia, notorious joke thief. Anyway, Scott, we got to talk about it. You did have Chastain last week. Chris and I had, kind of acceptable weeks. We did okay, but you actually went out there and you got it done, Scott. How did you do it? What sort of research did you do and to give you the ability to make that incredible pick?
I can't reveal you all my secrets, man. I just give you my picks. I like Chastain. He was finishing top 3 in basically every race for the last month.
Uh-huh.
He had a decent track record on road courses. And it became a lot more nerve-wracking than it should have been because he opened up a decent lead on the final lap, not to mention all the restarts. And then he had one really bad turn, and Allmendinger came flying through. And then, Chastain crashed your 2 guys to win the race. So he did enough to win it, 40-1. I said it was an auto bet just based on the actual odd comparisons at 40-1. I think it closed at like 20-1
on
Caesars, but... definitely
so
nice cash for me.
It. So it shouldn't count.
I'm happy about it. Chastain's a good driver, and he's proven it.
The white courtesy phone, Mr. Nobody Cares is calling.
JC Stone, it's not a problem. We knew he was going to break. You know what? I got to be honest with you, and I think if Chris is honest with the crowd as well, if we'd hit a 40-1, we'd be the same way. We would be totally fucking insufferable about it. I know I would be. Chris is insufferable most of the time anyway, so perhaps it would have just...
It's tough to be this good.
So congratulations, buddy. That moved you well ahead of the standings. For the record, I was -10 last week as Allmendinger ended up finishing behind Briscoe. I'm not even sure how that happened. Again, this is the second time I've lost a matchup on the last lap.
Yeah, he finished Allmendinger was 33rd and Briscoe was 30th.
Heartbreaking development.
Just out of curiosity, what do you think the odds would have been on Boris Said finishing ahead of Kyle Larson?
Well, if that would have been a matchup, which I doubt you could have found, pretty substantial. Maybe.
Yeah, because he finished 26th and Larson was 29th. I just would be curious how bad the odds would be on that.
Yep.
I'm gonna say 700 because you're really just hoping Larson's car blows up. I mean, that's
you
really
think
what
you think it's that low? I figured it would have been higher than that.
No, because once again, it comes down to just a random accident. So.
Well, and we've told you guys all year that it just takes one to put you in the black as far as racing goes, and that was the case. Chris made 200. I lost 10. Scott made $4,000 even as he's pushed on his other bets. So for the year, I'm minus 950. Chris is minus 735. Scott's plus 30. Congratulations. If he wouldn't have hit that yesterday or hit that last week, he would have been down almost a GER. So
yeah, I don't give a damn.
So quote Lou Brown in Major League. Nice play, Hayes. Don't ever fucking do it again.
That's right. The points lead, not surprisingly, Scott has taken the lead there. He has 451. Chris and I are fighting it out for if you're not first, you're last. I've got 384. He's got 381. So he had Eric Jones. My top 10 took 9th. Pucker time. Absolutely, JC. No question about it. It was a pucker time for a lot of us, and it worked out well for Scott. So congratulations. Chris, you and I had Reddick.
Yep.
He did finish top 5, finished right in 5th, but
he was just leading on the final lap.
Yes, Scott, we're aware. I was trying to be nice.
And Elliott finished 4th, so
yep.
I was hoping he would. He kept bouncing up and down the field, so I didn't know where the hell he was going to end up.
Him and Briscoe were really battling the entire day, not just with each other, but just in general. They seemed like they were up against it, and Elliott finishing 4th. I know is the favorite. You don't exactly you're not fine with it because you want him to win. I thought he actually had a decent race, all things considered.
So you did all right with Truex, right, Scott?
Yeah, he ended up beating Cindric in my matchup by 1, but he finished top 10.
Yep. Very solid, and so it has still been youngsters ruling the day. I believe that is 13 straight have been won by drivers under 30.
Yeah, Larson won about 7 of those last year. But
so let's all get out our Kyle Busch, Martin Truex, and what was another old driver? Harvick. There you go. Yeah, let's get out those plays. Generally don't like road courses. That was a decent race. I agree. They seem to have a little more ability to pass. You know, it's not one of those Watkins Glens where you just kind of fall in line. So missed a bet the farm play earlier. Any chance you can mention the play here? No chance. Sorry, George. No, we have the Golden Knights in regulation at minus 105 from the world of ice hockey as they play the Kraken.
Good Lord, you guys actually picked a hockey game?
That's how cold. That's how cold we are, buddy.
It's because it's April Fool's Day, isn't
it? We've lost 4 straight farms. I can't remember. It's well into like October and November.
Several months.
Oh yeah, we haven't done it this year. I guarantee we haven't lost 4 this year. So
why? Who'd you have yesterday?
We had Drummond over 10.
Drummond over 10.5. Yeah, he had 10.
In 10 and went to overtime. They got none in the first 2.5, and they pulled them.
I was just happy the Nets lost that game because I took the Bucks.
That was a hell of a game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Of course, I took the Bulls too, and I thought they were going to lose because they were down 10 in the fourth quarter.
They should have.
Well, they should have, but and now you look at the box score, and the Clippers aren't playing pretty much anybody tonight.
The Bucks aren't either. So that's
I saw that either. It's going to be battle of the backups.
Mm-hmm. All right, boys. So we went from one of the newest tracks, one of the most unconventional tracks, to one of the old school East Coast tracks as we head to Richmond. Next week we head to Martinsville with the minnow pond on the turn 4. So that'll be fun. And let's get her rolling. Now, what do we do here? Do we do loser's walk or we do winner's choice?
I can go first. I don't really care.
You want to go first?
Doesn't matter.
All right. Well,
that way he can say that you took his pick.
Make sure you take my pick. Go ahead.
Well, you alluded to it. You know, the young drivers have taken over, but based on the favorite tier, a lot of oldsters in there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going with Martin Truex Jr.
There you go.
At plus 1,000 on Fox Bet. I kind of have to. I mean, you're looking around. He's won 3 of the last 5 races here. He's finished top 5 in each of the last 6 races here. I'm going to save the young guys for my middle and my long shots, but for the
because there basically are no young guys in this part.
Correct. I didn't have a choice, so I'm going to take the guy who has the best track record here. I'm surprised that he's not one of the co-favorites to actually win the race. I thought that he would be lower. 10-1 for a guy that dominates at Richmond. Sure, I'll take him.
All right. And by the way, this was as far as the odds go, this one was absolutely wide open, with nobody lower than plus 800. So it ran plus 800 for plus 1200 is where we cut it off. And one of his hits is going to be a nice long shot. It's going to be a nice payday. So you've got Truex at plus 1,000 to win. Chris, what do you got? I'll give you another shot to pick my pick.
Well, it's a guy that I said I usually hate, but he runs well at this track.
Oh, it's Kurt Busch.
It's Kyle Busch.
Yeah, I was joking. Yeah, I know.
But yeah, he's finished in the top 10 12 of the last 13 times on this track. He's won 6 times. That's more than any other driver. His average finish at Richmond is 6.9. He's finished in the top 10 25 times in 32 runs, or the top 10 25 times in 32 runs, top 5 in 18 of those. And he's led a lot of laps. I think Denny Hamlin might be the only other guy that's active that's led more laps. I'm sadly going to go with Kyle Busch at plus 1,000 on DraftKings. I don't know if Scott saw it at a different number.
I've got 1,000 as well.
I saw 1,000.
Okay.
All right. Very good. Guys, I'm going to stick with the young trend. And like you mentioned, it was kind of hard to find anybody.
So you're taking Larson?
Under the age of 30. I'm not taking Larson. I'm going to take Blaney. I'm going to take Blaney at plus 1,200. Again, hasn't had a ton of success here. He does have one top 10 finish in his last 5, but I think this is a guy kind of been kind of due, and I think
I've got him at plus 13 on DraftKings. If that helps,
it will certainly helps me. I'll take that. I'll take the plus 13. I had him at 12, so every little bit helps. I've got Blaney. Scott has Truex, and Chris has Kyle Busch. Man, we're off and rolling here. I'm going to take a guy. I'll do this, and I'll let Chris back clean up. I'm going to take a guy for my mid pick. And by the way, our mid picks are guys we expect to finish in the top 5. So I'm trying to look for his top 5 odds there. There we go at plus 175. I'm going to take Christopher Bell. And this is a guy that I've talked about before. And he really hasn't been able to put it together this season. But he generally speaking, he came from a short track background. This is a guy that can run the shit out of short tracks especially if things are going well for him. He has 10 short track starts in his NASCAR career, or at least lately over the last couple of years. He's got 4 top 10 finishes, 2 top 5s. I think Christopher Bell could sneak one out here. So I'll take C Bell at plus 1,600 to win, plus what I have 175. Hang on, guys. Yeah, plus 175 for top 5. So. Chris, what do you got?
I'm actually going to stick with the old
Hang
generation.
on. Nope. Rochelle's next. I'll let you go. Yeah, right? Because you went second last time. All right, we're trying to change it up.
I don't care. Chris can keep going as long as
All right, what do you got? Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
I was going to go with Harvick at plus 200. You look, he's finished in the top 8 in 6 of the last 7 runs here.
What do you mean plus 2,000 or you mean plus 200?
No, plus 200.
Yeah.
For top
5.
For top 5?
What is he?
Yeah.
What plus 2,000? What is he to win?
Plus 18.
Okay. All right, gotcha. And
because he's right below Bell on the DraftKings page.
Okay. Plus okay. Very solid.
But, yeah, he's run well here, and if there's a track where he's going to get right, you'd have to think this will be one of them.
Does it seem that this season that past performances at tracks aren't really a good barometer? Yes. Yes, it does. Thanks. Yes, we're taking some hits with Beth the Form. Yes, George, we have. That's why we wanted to rally. That's why he shaved, man. So, yeah, we're trying to turn our luck around. Scott's in front of the shed. I shaved. It's time. So, and yes, JC, I believe that is absolutely correct. Do you guys agree with that? With the new car, the dominance of Chevy so far, the absolute kind of trailing behind of Toyota, has past performances meant very little?
That's why I pivoted.
What's that?
I think that's going to change, though, as people get more familiar with the cars, and that's going to narrow that.
Well, but what if it's a different? I mean, what if you've got guys that weren't good in the old cars, but they're good in the new cars? What have we learned when you look at past performances?
then we rely on Brad Keselowski to wreck those guys, and then the old guys will win.
Well, see, that's why I went with Bell, because he's comes up through the short tracks and has the experience. So I'm thinking that a guy like that is going to have a little less time, a little less
Well, I was going to say
trouble making the transition.
Because last week I could have went for somebody with a lot of experience. It was also a new track. I mean, they had one race there before,
Right?
But I went with Chastain. Not even just because of his good road course record, but because he kept finishing in the top 3.
Yep. Very good. What do you got for here, buddy? What do you got for your top 5?
So for this one, I actually was looking into Bell, decided not to. I'm going with a guy who I think just looks really good this season. It's going to be Alex Bowman at around 20-1 on Caesars. He actually won this race last year. It's a pretty weird history with him in Richmond because he has a lot of mediocre performances and one random win. But he's finished top 10 in 2 of the last 3 races here. He's finished top 2 in 2 of the first 5 races this season. So with the new car, he's looked really good, and I like how he's been racing recently. Give me Bowman at 20-1.
Okay, and plus
Unfortunately, his driver rating at Richmond is 67.
Oh, that's what I said. He has not been that good here, but he has one random win, and I'm kind of following JC's point. I'm looking at the current form with the new car over the past performances. I think Bowman's been one of the best drivers this season.
Okay, very solid. And what do you have him for top 5, Scott? I've got plus 200. You got anything better than that?
But what did you say you had?
Plus 200.
No,
that's what I see too.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. All right, we're going to come down to the long shots. And Scott, we'll let you kick it off. What you got?
All right, so for this one, I'm going to go with another youngster. He has had a pretty mediocre season, nothing great. But it's going to be Austin Dillon at about 50-1 on Caesars. Every other book has 40-1, so you're getting another great deal, kind of like Chastain last week. He's finished top 6 in 3 of his last 6 races here. So for long shots, there weren't really many appealing candidates, but at least he has some track record that's pretty good. And he has actually led at least 1 lap in 2 of the last 3 races here. Now, 1 lap can mean absolutely nothing because people could just be pitting and he just ends up taking the courtesy lap. But either way, it means he's towards the front on occasion at this track. That's good enough for me at 50-1. I'll take Austin Dillon at 50-1.
All right, and I've got him at plus 100 for to finish in the top 10. Do you have that as well, even money?
Yeah, something like that.
All right,
Yeah.
very good.
That's what I think too.
Well, we knew it would happen eventually, and it finally happened on the last pick. That is exactly who I have as well, for a lot of the same reasons that Scott said. If you haven't noticed, I'm leaning young today.
I see plus 115, by the way, for top 10.
Plus 115 for top 10. All right, we'll take that. So, yeah, I like Austin Dillon. I like the way he drives short tracks. Again, as JC mentioned, that you can kind of throw out past results, but as far as where they came up and what they cut their teeth on, that's kind of what I'm looking at. I like Austin Dillon in this spot as well. I think we're getting a good price on him. Chris, bring us home.
I'm going to go with Eric Almirola.
That was my other. Other one.
Mine too.
Between, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's finished in the top 10 in 3 out of the 6 races that he's run this year. He has 1 top 5. He's run fairly well at Richmond. I know that for discounting those things, that's fine. But, he at least has some experience on the track. I think he's finished in the top 10 7 times in 19 races. Twice he's finished in the top 5. He finished 8th and 6th in 2 of the last 3 races there. I'll take him, and I think last I saw, he was minus 125 to finish in the top 10. I don't know if there's a better number out there. His actual number, I think, to win was plus 3,000, something like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, very good. And you've got him at, what do you got him to win the race? 3,000.
Yeah, that's what I see.
I found a 3,300.
Okay. And plus 125, is that the best price anybody sees out there?
Let me see really quickly. I'm sorry, what was the price you just said?
Minus 125.
I see minus 105.
Okay. All right. Save that juice, baby. I got you down. Minus 105. Okay.
There's so many people.
Yeah.
As I said, there's so many people that are minus in the top 10 on there.
Mm-hmm.
makes it kind of tough.
Yeah,
It does.
Yeah, that definitely makes it interesting. I am loath to lay money on a NASCAR finishing position. It just doesn't seem like a good long-term strategy. But I know every once in a while you got to pick your spots, and I think that's a pretty good one for Almirola as well. All
By
right.
the way, I see quickly our own Tim Earl is in the comment section.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to tell him about Keselowski? Who wants to do the honors? He likes Keselowski at about 50 to 1. I even found a 70 to 1 available.
I looked at that too. I thought about doing it just for the memes, but at the end of the day,
he's been awful this year. I mean, there's no way around it.
He's been good until he's not, you know. He's been running well on a lot of the races, and then he just gets into a kerfuffle. And there you go. Bob's your uncle.
Yeah,
it's over.
I want nothing to do with Keselowski. Harvick, I can understand. But
Mm-hmm.
truth is, with the new cars, and we've mentioned how it's been definitely the young guys who have taken in full stride. That's just for winning. As for the older guys, Hamlin's had a bunch of car issues every week. Keselowski crashes every week. Until they look somewhat comfortable with the new car, ignoring whatever track they're on, I just can't take them.
Okay. That's solid. I agree. That's why I tended to go young this week. I just did. Now I am going to change it up for my matchup pick, and I'm going to go Hamlin over Logano. And if I would have bet an old guy this week, it would have been Hamlin. He's his last 5 races, they're 4 top 5s. He's led 22% of the laps that he's run in those races. If there's
trouble's got me scared.
Yeah, I know, and I just thinking how nice it would be to see a Toyota win. Now, if you want to think NASCAR is fixed, if a Toyota wins this week, you have my ear, because it's the Toyota Owners 400. It's not
the only manufacturer that hasn't won a race.
The only manufacturer that hasn't won a race. So you got to be a real fan of Toyota if you're still a Toyota owner at this point. I keep wanting to call it the Toyota Lovers 400, but it's not.
I picked Truex. I did factor it in, wondering can I really take Toyota when they haven't won anything?
Right.
But I decided to take a shot.
So what do you got?
For my matchup, I'm going to go with Elliott over Byron at about -125 on Fox Bet. Elliott, underrated track record here. He's finished top 5 in 4 of the last 7 races here. Byron has finished 19th or worse in 3 of his first 4 races here, or last 4 races here. And Elliott has finished top 11 in each of the last 4 NASCAR races, which isn't great for a guy of Elliott's caliber, but is usually in the top 10. Byron's had issues with accidents. He's had issues with car trouble. He's okay at times, but I think Elliott's more consistent. I'll take him at -125.
Very good. Old guys look like they got the latest phones and are lost. Young guys look excited to be getting the latest technology. That's excellent. I wonder how much of that comes from so many of these guys having extensive time on the simulators, or the NASCAR video games that are really realistic. Do you think that helps?
I think it could. I do have one question, which I'm kind of curious about the new cars. I don't think I've ever heard this many drivers on the radio complaining about their leg going numb in the final 10 laps of a race. Is that something with the car? Have you noticed that too? Because there's a lot of drivers complaining.
I have noticed that, and I don't know. I mean, the cockpit shouldn't be substantially different. They're all obviously custom made. The seats are customized for their exact height and width and whatever. So, yeah, I don't understand it. Chris, you have a theory on that?
Actually, I don't. I mean, it's something that's got to be addressed. I don't know if maybe there's something down there with all the new technology that's jacking things up, but it's something that they're going to have to address probably on a team by team basis to figure out what it is.
Yeah, I
think that was Allmendinger last week, right? Who was complaining about his leg?
Yeah, and I can't remember who it was. Like the first couple of weeks, it was
Reddick and Briscoe. I think
Briscoe was the one I was thinking about. Yeah,
I think Reddick had an issue too.
So as if it's not challenging to run cars at that kind of speed with that kind of talent around you. Now your leg's numb. So I can't feel it. So yeah, not good.
It's completely unrelated. I just did notice that, and I was kind of curious if you had any thoughts on it.
Yeah,
it was something that I kept hearing, and it just kept confusing me.
It's very weird. It's very weird indeed. Chris, bring us home. What's your matchup?
I'm actually going to piggyback off 2 of the drivers that you picked, and I'm going to go with Blaney over Bell at -105. I just think that Blaney's. I picked him at Daytona, and he was winning until somebody screwed him over. Can't remember who it was. Got cock blocked by Cindric at the end. But I just think he's due for a better showing, and I'm still not 100% sold on Bell's driving at this level. I mean, he's no Quinn Hoff, thankfully, but I just think Blaney's due, and at 105, I'm not giving up much of the juice here.
Okay.
Against Bell.
All right, very solid. All right, guys, let's do a quick recap. As our illustrious leader, Scott, he's got Martin Truex at plus 1,000 to win. He's got Alex Bowman plus 2,000 to win, plus 200 to finish top 5. And he does have Austin Dillon plus 5,000 to win, plus 115 to finish in the top 10. Your second place, your homeboy right here, I've got Blaney to win at plus 1,300. Bell to finish top 5, plus 1,600 to win, plus 175, T5. And I also have Austin Dillon as my long shot, plus 5,000 and plus 115 to win. Man, if I hit my 5,000, I'm not going to make up much ground on Scott. That really
You mean
sucks.
plus 115 for top 10?
Plus 115. What did I say? Top 5?
You said to win.
Oh, sorry. Plus 115 top 10. Yep. And my matchup is the old man, Denny Hamlin, against the kid, Joey Logano, minus 115. Hamlin's had some recent success here. I'll take that. Reddick blamed the issue on his off-season workout plan and muscle gain. Made his harness tighter.
He was too swole for the harness. Man.
Too swole. That's right. Yeah, he's not skipping leg day. Fuck no, man.
He should have been.
Yeah. And Chris, he's got the geriatric extravaganza here. He's got Kyle Busch plus 1,000 to win it. Kevin Harvick, who's plus 1,800. You can tell Kevin Harvick's car is the one that'll have the blinker on the whole race. So Kevin Harvick plus 1,800. Plus,
hey, not everybody drives like you with the hazards on.
Plus 200 to finish top 5. And Almirola over 30? Got to be close, right?
I think I looked it up. I believe he was. I want to say 34.
Okay, I was gonna say 31, 32. Right. So he's
30. He's 38 actually.
He's been around for a minute. I was gonna say he's been probably in Cup for 10 years.
Yeah, give or take.
Yeah.
I mean,
okay, so it's 38, 30, whatever. He's
actually started in 06.
Jesus. All right.
It's longer than I thought he was around for.
Yeah. Almirola plus 3,300. So he's going with the old guy trifecta. Plus 3,300, minus 105 to finish in the top 10. Matchups, I've got Hamlin over Logano. Rachel has Elliott over Bell or Byron. And Chris has Blaney over Bell. So there you go. Anything else before we go, guys?
I don't think I did enough gloating. Plus 4,000. Let's go, Chastain.
That's right.
Huge.
Now,
let's go.
Let's everybody let him in on your.
You know, he backed him last week. You didn't hear his name mentioned at all in Rachel's picks this week. So here today, gone tomorrow.
You're dead to me. As Joe Pesci said in My Cousin Vinny, I'm done with this guy.
I didn't really like any matchups.
I got no more use for this guy.
I looked into him against Reddick. I looked into everything else. But the truth is, once you finally win one, and once you have all those top 3 finishes, your odds plummet. So at this point, Chastain is dropped basically in half.
Right.
So does that mean by that logic you won't pick Larson ever again because he won all those races last year?
Well, the odds aren't necessarily moving down each time he wins. The point is Chastain was the diamond in the rough. Now everyone knows who he is. So I might have to wait a couple of weeks before going back to him.
Got to let the smoke clear a little bit.
You can polish a turd, but at the end of the day, it's still a turd.
But it is super shiny. So there you go. Thanks, guys. Amazing. Among all those picks, someone has to get the finish. You're right. You'd think so, but 2 weeks in a row, we went glacial. We went Iceberg City there. You would think we laid out 9 picks or whatever. Yeah, they all did. They all
took most of those picks were you guys agreed on.
There were some dupes.
We took 1 week off, then we came back, and then we had basically 3 drivers in the top 3 for the final lap. So I guess we needed the week off.
That's right. We recharged, as it were. So. All right, guys. As always, thanks for watching. We've had a fun week here. Scott and I pulled double duty. Chris has been along for a couple of those doubles. Of course, his show's lasting. What are you doing now? 2 hours and 15 minutes for all your shows?
6.5 hours.
There you go. So make sure you stop by and check that out. He does just parlays every day at 2 p.m. Eastern time with Jim Williams. Chris,
we had some guy that said they took the shot in the dark yesterday and won a 9-teamer. So I mean, good for them.
That should buy some premium picks for a while, huh?
Yeah, or they could just send me my cut of the money. I'm not complaining. We had a guy win a 6-teamer the other day. It was like plus. He said it was plus 82-14 or something like that.
Nice. I mean, Chris is hitting.
Still waiting for my cut of the money on that too.
Chris hits those. Man, isn't it just about the pride of a job well done? Do you really care about the money?
Don't you?
Fuck yeah, we play for money around here.
Yeah, but I mean, come on.
You're goddamn right.
Does the money stack up to a nice thank you in the chat box down below?
Sure does.
Every time you don't get those either. You just get people ranting about how, why we talked about the 76ers and how they were going to lose yesterday.
Because it's winners. Because he picks winners, damn it.
That's right. Anybody can pick 9-team losers. Jesus.
Yeah.
All right, so check Chris out. He's been hotter than a firecracker. He was hot yesterday. Some guy, like I said, he gives out 10 plays for a shot in the dark. 9 of them hit. That ain't bad. I know you hit a. What do you hit?
Plus, we got some guys that ask for the picks and then forget to use them. So
it's very true. That's that happens. I can't imagine.
Those people are fucking idiots.
I can't imagine anybody that would be that stupid, especially on a day like.
Stick their head in the microwave or something.
Yeah. Why don't you just shave your face and fucking call it done? All right, guys. Thanks for joining us as always. We appreciate it. Hope you have fun this weekend. We got Final Four action on Saturday. We got NASCAR on Sunday. Should be a blast. Should be a big time. Scott, you going to be watching the race?
Guys, we watching WrestleMania.
Right? All right. And
I'll be watching the race instead of WrestleMania. No, I'll watch the race and I'll.
And then he's watching WrestleMania.
The best answer on WrestleMania. Scott, you going to be watching this weekend? Absolutely not.
Absolutely not, but let's cash some bets.
There you go. Chris, you got a big weekend plan? What are you doing?
I'm going to be grilling out tomorrow night. That's always fun.
Excellent.
The weather's been nice here, so
cool.
We'll take advantage of it.
There you go. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe both to our YouTube channel for Winners and Winers and our YouTube channel for Max Wagers Network. You can check Chris out every day, 2 p.m. You can check Scott and I out each and every day, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central. As once again, we will do our very best to help you in the never-ending journey to head back to the window. Guys, thanks for joining us. Thanks for all the comments. We'll see you Monday. Take care, everybody.